Have you ever felt like life's a treadmill cranked to max speed? You're chasing likes, deadlines, and that perfect vibe everyone on Instagram seems to have nailed. Yet you're stressed, lost, and wondering, is this all there is? I was there, spiraling at 2 a.m., feeling like I was failing at everything. Then I found Stoicism, a 2,000-year-old philosophy that turned my world upside down. Why are so many people in their 20s and 30s, like us, obsessed with it? Stick around, because I'm sharing how Stoicism pulled me out of chaos and the one massive mistake I made that almost cost me everything. Stoicism isn't about being a robot with no feelings, despite what some people think. It's a practical philosophy from ancient Greece and Rome, built by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. The core idea? Focus on what you can control, your thoughts, choices, reactions, and let go of what you can't, like other people's opinions or random life chaos. It's like learning to stay calm in a storm instead of fighting the waves. Why does this hit so hard for us, people in our 20s and 30s? We're drowning in noise. Endless notifications, work pressure, and society screaming. You need to be rich, hot, and successful by 30. A 2024 Gallup poll said 65% of young adults feel significant stress daily. Stoicism's like a mental filter, helping you cut through the chaos to find clarity and purpose. Let me walk you through 5 reasons it's blowing up with young people, and my own messy journey, including a time I got Stoicism totally wrong and nearly wrecked a relationship. Reason 1. It's a lifeline for burnout and stress. Life in your 20s and 30s can feel like a pressure cooker. Deadlines, bills, trying to adult, while keeping up with friends. It's overwhelming. A 2023 study from the American Psychological Association found 60% of Gen Z and millennials are completely overwhelmed by stress. I was one of them. At 28, I was juggling a toxic job, a side hustle to pay off debt, and a social life that felt more like a performance than fun. I was snapping at friends, barely sleeping, and one bad email from my boss could ruin my entire week. Then I stumbled across a Marcus Aurelius quote: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It hit me like a lightning bolt. Stoicism taught me to stop freaking out over things I couldn't control, like my boss's mood swings or a delayed promotion. I started focusing on what I could control: my attitude, my schedule, my mindset. I began meditating for 10 minutes every morning, asking, what's one thing I can do today to feel in control? I set boundaries, like no work emails after 7 p.m., and prioritized sleep. Slowly, the burnout fog lifted. But here's the twist. I almost messed it up. I thought Stoicism meant suppressing all my stress, so I bottled it up instead of dealing with it. Big mistake. I got short-tempered and pushed away a close friend because I wouldn't admit I was struggling. It wasn't until I reread Epictetus, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters," that I realized Stoicism isn't about ignoring emotions. It's about feeling them, understanding them, and choosing how to act. I apologized to my friend, and we're good now, but that was a wake-up call. Stoicism's power comes from working with your emotions, not against them. Reason 2. It breaks the social media comparison trap. Raise your hand if you've ever felt like trash after scrolling Instagram or TikTok. We've all been there. Someone's got the perfect vacation, the dream job, the flawless relationship, and you're sitting there thinking, why isn't my life like that? Social media is a comparison machine, and it's killing our self-esteem. A 2024 Pew Research study showed 70% of young adults feel worse about themselves after using social media. I was one of them. I'd spend hours tweaking posts, chasing likes, and feeling crushed when they didn't come. My worth felt tied to a number on a screen. Stoicism changed that. Epictetus said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." Translation: stop obsessing over what you can't control, like how many followers you have or what strangers think. I started asking, is this post making me a better person, or am I just chasing validation? That question was a game changer. I cut my screen time in half, unfollowed accounts that made me feel small, and focused on real-world moments, like actually enjoying a coffee with a friend instead of staging it for a story. Here's where I messed up, though. I went overboard and thought Stoicism meant ditching social media entirely. I deleted all my accounts in a fit of enlightenment, thinking it'd make me free. Spoiler, it didn't. I felt isolated and out of touch. Stoicism isn't about running from the world. It's about engaging with it wisely. I rejoined a couple platforms, but now I use them intentionally, sharing what matters to me, not what I think will get likes. That shift gave me peace I didn't know was possible. Reason 3. It's an antidote to consumerism. We're constantly told we need more to be happy. More clothes, more tech, more stuff. Ads are everywhere, whispering, "Buy this, and you'll feel complete." But does that new phone or designer bag actually make you happy? For me, the answer was no. I used to blow my paycheck on trendy sneakers or the latest gadget, thinking it'd fill the void. The high lasted a day, maybe two, and then I was back to feeling empty, with less money to show for it. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." That quote stopped me cold. Stoicism teaches you to find contentment in what you already have, not what you think you need. It's the opposite of consumerism's lie that happiness is one purchase away. I started embracing minimalism, asking, do I need this, or am I just trying to feel something? I decluttered my apartment, donated half my wardrobe, and stopped shopping to chase a feeling. Instead, I invested in experiences, a weekend hike, a cooking class, a quiet night with a good book. But here's the plot twist. I took it too far. I got so obsessed with minimalism that I started judging others for buying things, acting like I was above it all. That wasn't stoicism, that was ego. A friend called me out when I made a snarky comment about her new phone. I felt awful. Stoicism isn't about judging others. It's about mastering yourself. I apologized and learned to focus on my own choices, not others. Now, I'm happier with less, my bank account's healthier, and I'm not chasing the next shiny thing. Reason 4. It gives you purpose in a directionless world. Ever feel like you're drifting? Like you're supposed to have life figured out by now, but you're still asking, what's the point? That was me at 27. I had a decent job, friends, and all the adult boxes checked, but I felt aimless. Society says success is a big paycheck or a fancy title, but chasing that left me hollow. Stoicism gave me a new lens. It's not about having all the answers. It's about living with virtue, courage, wisdom, justice, and self-discipline. It's about showing up every day and doing your best, no matter what. I started journaling every night, asking, did I act with kindness today? Was I honest? Did I make a difference, even a small one? Those questions gave me purpose. Here's where I stumbled. I thought stoicism meant chasing perfection. I beat myself up when I wasn't stoic enough, like when I lost my temper in traffic. That self-criticism was toxic. Then I read Seneca. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be better than you were yesterday. That flipped my perspective. I stopped aiming for flawless and focused on progress. I started celebrating small wins, like staying calm during a tough work call or helping a coworker. Stoicism became my compass, guiding me toward a life that feels meaningful, not just successful by society's standards. Reason 5. It builds resilience for life's curveballs. Life doesn't care about your plans. Breakups, job losses, global crises, stuff happens. Stoicism prepares you with a practice called premeditatio malorum, imagining the worst-case scenario to mentally prep for it. It's not pessimistic, it's empowering. When you're ready for the worst, it doesn't scare you as much. Last year, I got laid off. Old me would have spiraled, thinking, I'm a failure, my life's over. But Stoicism had rewired me. I thought, I can't control the layoff, but I can control my response. I updated my resume, networked, and treated it as a chance to pivot. I even practiced gratitude. Sounds weird, but I was thankful for the skills I'd gained and the people in my corner. Within a month, I landed a better job that aligned with my values. But here's the twist. I almost blew it. Early in my stoic journey, I thought preparing for the worst meant expecting everyone to betray me. I got paranoid, distanced myself from friends, and even questioned my partner's loyalty over nothing. It strained our relationship, and we nearly broke up. I realized I'd misunderstood stoicism. It's not about distrusting people. It's about trusting yourself to handle whatever comes. I worked to rebuild that trust, and it made me stronger. Stoicism's resilience isn't about shutting out the world. It's about facing it with courage. 3 years ago, I was a mess. I was 29, stuck in a job that drained me, scrolling Twitter for hours to escape, and feeling like I was failing at life. My apartment was cluttered, my relationships were fraying, and I was anxious all the time, like one bad day could break me. I kept thinking, if I just get that promotion, that new phone, more followers, I'll be happy. Spoiler, none of it worked. Then I picked up Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I wasn't expecting much, just another self-help book. But it was different. It was raw, practical wisdom that felt like it was written for me. I started small, reading one Stoic quote each morning, like, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. I'd write it down, think about it on my commute, and try to apply it. One day, my boss chewed me out in front of everyone. Olmi would have obsessed over it for weeks. But I remembered that quote. I couldn't control my boss, but I could control my reaction. So, I took a walk, breathed, and let it go. That was a turning point. I built a routine, 10 minutes of Stoic journaling at night, reflecting on what went well and what I could improve. I practiced gratitude, writing down 3 things that brought me joy, like a good laugh with a friend or a sunny afternoon. Here's the big mistake I made. I thought Stoicism meant shutting off my emotions entirely. When my best friend moved away, I tried to be stoic by pretending I wasn't sad. I didn't call, didn't visit, and acted like it didn't hurt. It strained our friendship, and I nearly lost someone I cared about. I was devastated when I realized my mistake. Stoicism isn't about denying pain. It's about feeling it, understanding it, and choosing how to move forward. I reached out, apologized, and we rebuilt our bond. That taught me Stoicism's real power. It's about living authentically, not hiding from life. So, why are so many young people turning to Stoicism? Because it's a lifeline in a world that's loud, chaotic, and constantly pulling us in a million directions. It helps us manage stress, escape the comparison trap, reject consumerism, find purpose, and build resilience. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about showing up for yourself every day and building a life that feels true to you. Here's my challenge. Try Stoicism for 1 week. Pick one principle, like focusing on what you can control, and apply it. Maybe it's letting go of a rude comment, saying no to an impulse buy, or journaling for 5 minutes about what you're grateful for. Notice how it feels. You don't need to overhaul your life. Just take one step. If this video hit home, smash that like button. It helps spread the message. Subscribe and ring the bell for more videos on living with purpose. Drop a comment. Have you tried Stoicism? Or what's one thing you're struggling with that you'd love to let go of? Let's talk. For more, check out Meditations by Marcus Aurelius or The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. Links in the description. Thanks for watching, and here's to building a life that's not just loud, but meaningful. See you in the next one.